Immediately, I was witnessing an extraordinary meeting, presided over by the king and restricted to his 6 advisors. I was told the matter was serious when the king met only with these 6. The king had aged significantly, for we had leapt forward in time by 20 years. Everyone present looked grave, as they discussed the technical worth of their seismographs, and I was able to understand it all within 1/100th of a second. I could follow the course of their discussions as if I was one of them. One of the advisors was claiming that the equipment had, on occasion, proved unreliable, but there was no great cause for concern. Another stated that the seismograph was perfectly accurate since that very model had proven itself at the time of the first catastrophe, occurring in the west of the continent. As they spoke, the palace began to tremble, like leaves on a tree in the wind. The king rose, his eyes wide with surprise and fear. 2 of his advisors fell from their seats. Outside, a great din seemed to come from the town. The scene changed and suddenly, we were outside. The moon was full and illuminated the gardens of the palace. All had become calm again, too calm. The only sound heard was a dull rumbling, coming from the edge of town. Suddenly, the servants ran from the palace and scurried in all directions. Several of the columns supporting the globes that lit up the avenue lay on the ground smashed. Emerging quickly from the palace, the king and his entourage climbed onto a flying platform and headed immediately for the airport. We followed them. Around the flying vessels on the field and in the terminal, confusion reigned. Some people were making a dash for the vessels, screaming and shoving. The king's flying platform moved quickly towards one of the vehicles that stood apart from the others. He and his followers boarded it. Other craft were already taking off, when a deafening sound rose from the depths of the earth. A strange, continuous sound like thunder. The airfield suddenly ripped apart like a sheet of paper, and an enormous column of fire enveloped us. The vessels that had just taken off were trapped in the middle of the flames and exploded. The people who had been running on the airfield were lost in the crevasse. The king's vessel, still on the ground, caught fire and exploded. At this moment, as if the king's death had been a signal, we saw the Great Pyramid topple in a single block into the crevasse, which was extending along the plateau, widening by the second. The pyramid had balanced for a moment on the edge of the crevasse, then, with a violent shudder, it was swallowed into the flames.